Hey guys, this is iTroll with the Rollout Reviews, bringing you another LBX review. This time it is Hyperfunction Achilles Deed. We are 5 model kits into this line. I hardly think I have to explain what Hyperfunction is anymore. Achilles Deed is a really interesting and mysterious LBX in the show. I love the part it plays in the storyline, and that is all I am going to say. Let's take a look at the manual here. On the cover, you have the box art looking great as always. It's number 5 in the line. Inside, we have full color instructions, like always. On the back, we have some painted up images of the model. And right out of the box, it looks pretty close to these, but there are some noticeable details missed. You have a color guide there if you want to paint it yourself, and a chart showing you where to specifically apply these stickers here. These are not accurate to the show, and I am not going to be applying these whatsoever. But feel free to do so if you're into that kind of thing. Achilles Deed includes the standard fare for these Hyperfunction kits, having a tool for both applying the stickers and splitting the armor parts, and feet for his inner frame. He also comes with a couple of parts used on the original Achilles build that aren't used here. Speaking of which, here is the original Achilles, and while there are plenty of parts shared between the two, there are just as many new parts on this model. And it's pretty clever too, because, prime example, if we take a look at the side skirts, you can see that these black parts are exactly the same as these white parts, but the armor over top gives the illusion that it's a different shape. Same thing on the legs, the feet, the lower arms, and the chest to an extent. Achilles Deed is also just a bit taller because he has thicker feet and a longer neck, but the original Achilles has a slightly bigger head crest, making them about the same size. Now he also has a back port here for a cape, but I don't know why you'd give him one. New parts on this guy, you have the head crest up here, which has some nice detail on it, the side bits on the head, his chest. I do want to address that the vents are just a little bit inaccurate. They're supposed to be black inside there with just yellow around it. I don't see why they couldn't have done that, seeing as just as complex parts have been done on other Hyperfunctions, but oh well. His chest is very different, and he's got this pretty cool feature where this central piece can turn. You take the tool, slot it in the top, and shift it to the left. This is to represent his demonic mode. However, it's not very well represented because in the show he completely changes color. Oh well, it's nice that it's there. Now, if we pull the chest off here, we can see he's got his own unique little chip. This is different from the original Achilles, and that's nice. He's got these shoulder pads there with the translucent parts in the middle, his little thrusters in the back, little thrusters on the side here, more vents all the way around, thrusters on his knees, and thrusters on the bottom of his feet. But they're a little bit inaccurate because they are colorless. Articulation is exactly the same as the original Achilles, so I hardly find it necessary for me to cover that. Stickers on this, on the LBX itself, he only has a few. The 2 on the eyes of his inner frame, and 2 on his chin here. 1 on the front, and 1 on the bottom. It's a shame that that couldn't have been plastic, but oh well. He does have a longer neck part, so it doesn't get in the way very often. Since there's never really a point in the show where this LBX isn't actively airborne, obviously he comes with a stand, and it is massive. A lot bigger than I was expecting. And if nothing else, it has a lot of shelf presence, so I guess that's what they were going for. Now it's got this bit on the bottom, and it almost looks like you could store something down there, but you can't. So maybe it was just a hunch. At the bottom here, you can put it in 2 different positions, unlocking it like that, bringing it down, and locking it back into place. And that's kind of useless. I would have wished that you could bring it back 1 notch, but you can't. Oh well. Up here, there aren't really any actively moving parts, but you can remove this and bring it down in different positions. Same for this connection up top. Now you can attach any LBX to this, but because it came with them, let's just attach Achilles' deed and be done with it. Just like that. Now it comes with a couple of extra hands, splayed hands, which are always nice, and these thumbs up hands, or hand, rather. The only reason he comes with this is because the normal Achilles has it, and there is no reason for him to, so you can kind of just toss that off to the side. He also comes with effect parts, 2 of which being these little thrusters. They're kind of a weird, like, neon green color. I think it would have been better if they were just straight up yellow, but oh well. They are what they are. You can attach these at any place that there is a little thruster nozzle. On the knees, on his side skirts, on his back, and on the bottoms of his feet. So we will do that. Next, of course, he comes with his gun. It has a little sticker up top here, but that is it. You also have a little attachment piece. It just slots into the side, allowing you to store it on his back, making use of that cape port. I don't think there's ever a time that he does this, but it's nice that it's there. So we'll just put this in his hand. He also comes with his shield. There are 2 little stickers, one here and one there, but the rest of it is nicely colored with plastic parts. Nozzles here, here, and here. You can also attach those effect parts there, which is nice. If you take a look at the back, we have the handle. That can come off and store down, just like that. You also have this flip-out peg, allowing you to store it on his back as well. Unfortunately, you can't store both his gun and his shield on his back. Again, there's not much you can do about that. But, again, there are the little nozzles there, so you can sort of bring this down and have them shooting out the back, which is kind of cool. Anyway, let's give him this. And we're good to go. Now, he also comes with another effect part, this little beam. Very cool, if we get him into a shooting position. There's a little hole in the end of his gun, and we can plug that on there. Pretty impressive. Last but not least, it comes with its signature weapon towards the end of the season, the Luminous Shooter. Sort of a specialized heavy-duty long-ranged weapon, and it looks great. Not too many plastic colors, but it still pulls off the look well, just because of how it's constructed. For stickers, you have these back here in orange, and these little details on either side. It's got translucent parts, once again, in the same exact color as the thruster effect parts, on the front here, and in the gaps, and in the sight, and the 2 little, I don't know, lights? I don't really know what those are, but they look pretty cool. I have a feeling why those thruster effect parts are the color they are is so they could pull off this without having to use too many different colors of translucent plastic. It also comes with this adapter piece. So you can plug that on the front and plug in the beam effect part. And that looks awesome. So, let's give it to Achilles' deed. Just like that. Once again, a very, very cool display. With hyperfunction reaching out to double, I'm interested to see where this line goes next. I mean, ultimately, I'd be a little disappointed if we saw a Perseus or a Lycion before a hyperfunction Odin. But maybe I'm thinking about it a little bit too much. It could very well just have been that they had an existing Achilles mold lying around. It's far easier for them to turn that into Achilles' deed than to mold an all-new model. That said, it turned out phenomenally. This is by far my favorite of the 5 hyperfunction kits we have. I already loved the Achilles mold. This takes that, improves upon it, and adds so much more. You have plenty of options, and on top of that, no cape to work around. I love this kit. That could be partially because Achilles' deed is one of my favorite LBXs of all time. But that aside, I highly recommend getting this guy. So that is about it, and this is IX Roll at IX, signing off.